Hey folks, James here from Sweet Pea Machine Embroidery. Firstly, I would like to wish our amazing Sweet Pea community a Happy New Year. I hope you all had an amazing time over the holidays. This is a video tutorial for the Beauty Blocks runner. In this video tutorial, I will show you the stitch out of block 4 and the construction of the runner. We recommend you follow our photograph written instructions in conjunction with this video. Head over to our January Sew Along Facebook group to receive your 30% discount code on this design. You will also find the competition details on that Facebook group. I will leave a link for that group in the description of this video. If you find this video tutorial helpful in any way, please like and subscribe. Hoop up cutaway stabilizer in the hoop. Load the design onto your machine and use applique scissors for trimming the batting and fabric. Place batting 1 on top of the hoop and stitch the batting down. Remove the hoop from your machine and trim the batting about 1 to 2 millimeters from the stitching. Stitch the placement line for section A. Place fabric A right side up on top of the hoop, covering the placement line, and stitch down. Remove the hoop from your machine and trim the fabric about 1 to 2 millimeters from the stitching, leaving the excess fabric in the seams. Then repeat the applique process for the first piece of section B, fabric B. Then trim, leaving the excess fabric in the seams. Using the right trimmed edge of the first piece of fabric A as a placement line, place another piece of fabric B wrong side up, crossing the placement line by 1/4 inch and with the excess fabric towards the left of the hoop. Fold the fabric over, hold taut and stitch down. Trim, leaving the excess fabric in the seams. Repeat the flip and fold process for the remaining section A pieces using the remaining pieces of fabric A. And trim, leaving the fabric in the seams. Embroider the decorative zigzag at the base of section B. Then embroider the satin stitch around section A. Repeat the applique process for section C using fabric C. trim, leaving the fabric in the seams. Embroider the decorative zigzag on section C, then embroider the satin stitch between sections B and C. Embroider the circle motif quilting on section A, then embroider the zigzag motif quilting on section A. Repeat the applique process for section D using fabric E. Trim. Embroider the satin stitch in between the sections C and D. You have now finished the stitch out of block 1. Remove the hoop from your machine and trim the seams to about 1/2 inch. Hold the side until all your box panels are made. Joining the blocks. Lay out your blocks on a flat surface and decide on your layout. There are many different layouts you can create with these blocks. Below is the layout we chose for our sample. First, we will join the blocks to create rows, then join the rows together. Place the first 2 blocks right sides together and pin and stitch the side seam on your sewing machine. Stitch just inside the border already stitched so the stitching will not be seen on the right side later. The seam size will be about 1.25 centimeters or 1/2 inch. Open the seam and iron flat. Continue sewing your rows together in the same fashion as per your layout. Join your rows by placing the rows together right sides matching up each block in the row. Then pin and stitch the side seam on your sewing machine. Stitch just inside the border already stitched on the blocks, so the stitching will not be seen on the right side later. The seam size will be about 1.25 centimeters or 1/2 inch. Make sure you match your intersecting seams or design elements that may continue from block to block. Continue with each row until all your rows are joined. Open the seams and iron flat. Press the intersections where the 4 blocks are joined. Trim any excess stabilizer away from the intersecting seams if you feel they are bulky. Cut the backing. First, measure the length and width of your table center and make sure your piece of fabric G backing is large enough. You may already have 2 pieces of fabric G cut. Place the 2 pieces of fabric G right sides together on your table. Cut the fabric in half lengthways if you have cut the backing in one piece. Pin and stitch a 1/2 inch seam 1.25 centimeters along one edge. leaving a 6-inch, 15cm gap in the middle to turn the table center through. Then press the seam open. Then place your sewn table center on top of fabric G right sides together. Lightly pin together . Stitch a 1/2-inch seam just inside the border stitching. And cut out the backing material matching your front. Then trim the edges of your table center to a 1/4 inch and clip the curves. Then turn the right way out through the opening in the backing seam. Run the point of a chopstick along the seams on the inside. This will help the table center to sit flat. Press firmly with your iron, then hand stitch the back opening closed. Optional, stitch in the ditch down the long middle seam through all layers to keep the runner attached to the backing. After all this, you have now finished your runner. Enjoy. Well folks, that's it for another sweet piece sew along. I hope you enjoyed stitching out this stunning project. Shop more beautiful machine embroidery designs and sewing essentials at swepea.com. That is SWPEA.com. That's all from me. I hope to see you again next month. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye.